Good morning, everybody. It's Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters, and I think I'm live. So, here I am in my new apartment. I know it doesn't look like much right now. Let me make this screen bigger. There we go. This is basically going to be the new studio, what you're seeing right now. And you can't see the part that I already set up, which is the computer. And, well, actually, here, I can take my webcam and show you that. So I have my computer set up here, and then my analog synths over there, and monitors. Switched over to my M Audio Air. You can't really see it back there. Can I get down there? Yeah, M Audio Air 192/14 audio interface. And back there, let me put this camera back. Back there, or over there, where that carpet is and where the drum stool is where the drums are going to go, as you can see. And I'm going to downsize the kit a little bit because this room actually is a little bit smaller than where I was, but it's much better. Even though it's smaller, that closet back there is ginormous. Like, I have a lot of stuff already in there, and that alone makes it way, way better. And plus, this is just a far nicer place than where I was at before. I'm here in Staten Island now. I used to live in Brooklyn, and I moved across the bridge into the suburbs, but I'm so glad. It is so nice. Beautiful apartment. And you can't really tell from this video, but it's really nice. Just take my word for it. And the neighborhood is just really much, much better. I don't hear ambulances outside my window anymore. I don't hear anything outside my window anymore, except for birds chirping and the occasional ship that goes by. I'm actually right on the bay here. And there will be some foghorns you'll hear when ships go by sometimes if it's foggy. Yesterday that was happening a few times. But I actually kind of like that. It's very atmospheric. And it's just really nice. No construction sounds all over the place like before. No ambulances. Like I said, no crazy people fighting in the streets down below my window. No, what else? There's all kinds of, no mice. I'm very, very happy, me and Victor both. I just figured I would hop on here. Well, actually, what I was doing, I was mastering, or sort of mastering. I guess you'd call it mastering. Putting together my new album. And this is a lot of stuff that if you follow my channel and watch all my videos, you've probably heard most of this. Some of these are new within the last couple of months, and some of them are within the last year or two. So, I would say actually probably within the last year. I don't think any of them are over a year old. But I was already doing it. I started doing it earlier this morning, and then I was like, well, I might as well finish this up on the stream if I can. Because there's not much to it. I mean, most of my songs when I record them are already pretty much mastered. I mean, they're pretty much done. Sometimes, like, I'll have to bump the levels a little bit or change a couple of things. Like on this one down here, I had to. But we'll continue. I've already got... There's already... Let's see where we're at. We're already almost 30 minutes in, and this thing's not even halfway done yet, I don't think. Excuse me. I have a lot of material that I'm putting on here. Some of this stuff was released on some of the Mockman Mini albums, but I've since decided not to brand stuff under that name anymore, so I'm going back to just using Demonic Sweaters for everything. And I'm taking some of those songs that I used before on one of those, or a couple of the releases, that I actually re-recorded the drums on them. And the title of this album is just going to be Synthesizers and Drums. That's what it's going to be called. Because that's basically what it is. It's just synthesizers and drums. There's some guitars on there too, but the overwhelming majority of sounds you hear on this particular collection of songs are synthesizers and drums. And I think it's really cool. I love that combination. That's one of my favorite things to do. There's very minimal vocals on it. I think one song has some vocals on it. It's very minimal too. The rest is instrumental. But let's go ahead and I'm just going to keep doing it. Let's see. I'm kind of deciding the order as I go along. So I ended off on Unisphere here, which is this track. And I'm trying Audacity, or OBS has like a window capture that captures the audio now, and it's in beta. So hopefully that sounded okay when you heard that. I'm not testing this or anything. I just sort of did it. So we shall see. Now I need to decide what to put on here next. And if you're out there, feel free to hop in the chat and I'll answer any questions you may have about anything. I don't really care. Talk about whatever. All right, so what am I going to put in here? What's next? Let me get this chat window somewhere where I can see it. Put it over here. Oh, I can put it in the OBS window? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's better. Alrighty. Actually, no, that's not better. What am I talking about? Let's get that out of there. I don't need to see OBS. Where'd it go? I guess I do need to see OBS. If I minimize that, it minimizes the chat too. All right, let's put it in here where I had it. You can't see what I'm doing, but I assure you it's very important. All right, let me focus here. Where'd Audacity go? Yeah, and I am using Audacity. I use Audacity usually on all the final touches of my recordings. I don't record, I mean, I have, but generally speaking, I don't use Audacity as like a DAW. I usually use Audacity as mastering and, just putting the final touches and creating the song track titles and, tags and all of that stuff. I find Audacity to be very useful for that. It's also very nice for recording podcasts, and I use it for that as well. That's enough on that. Let's find the next song. So now and let me think. Let me look at what I had here so far. And what I like to do when I'm deciding my order is I'll go through and kind of listen to each track, even if it's just a small section, and just kind of get the vibe of that song and then hear what I might want to put in there next and see if I think that vibe makes sense in chronological order, even though very few people listen to things in order these days. But for that 1% out there that does, I really thank you. And I'm doing this for you. Okay, so my first song sounds like that kind of vibe. What I need to think of is what's going to go after Unisphere. And I think I have a song in mind here, and I need to figure out where it is. And some of these... oh, yeah, it keeps moving, though, not that one. Some of these, they change titles from when I first do them. And so I have to remember what I called them before. Let's see. It might be in another folder. Eclipse, no. So I'm going to look at my 2023 folder. There's a few in here I've never released because I just, for various reasons, I may not like them totally. New 4-track demo song. What is that? Where is the song I'm thinking of? And what is it called? All right, let's look. I don't think it was 2022. Was it that long ago? Let me check. No, there's no way it was that old. It was definitely 2023. But I know another place where I'll have it, though it's not the first master of it. Monolith? What is this one? No. That's one I decided not to put anywhere, at least for the time being. This album, I'm trying to stick to all acoustic drums. So it's like there's the blend of, synthesizers, electronic sounds with acoustic drums, because I really like that that juxtaposition of, organic sounds with synthesized sounds. I really like that. Is this stream even public? I don't know. Whatever. Maybe not. I don't see any chats. Maybe, I guess I could go to YouTube and look. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Am I public? Am I even streaming to the right thing? Live. Yeah. Oh, 4 people watching. Okay. What's up, guys? Oh, there you are. K-Patch. What's up? Just got ringing in my ear. That's always pleasant. Speaking of pleasant things, moving. Oh, man. What a... Oh, wait. That's weird. The K-Patch, the chat... Oh, wait. Let's go to live chat. Why'd your other message disappear? Did you send 2 messages? Send another message if you don't mind, so I can see if this is working correctly. I see yes it is, but I thought you sent one before that. And now I don't see it, unless I was imagining that. All right, let me continue what I'm doing here. You can't see my file browsing that I'm doing, but I'm looking through some folders here. Somewhere in here. What is the name of this song? Drinking some Emergen-C. Oh, yeah, it's called 68. Well, that's okay. That's a WAV file. I can still use that. All right, let's drop this in here. 68. And what I do, okay, so I don't know if you noticed what I did there. I just dropped the file into Audacity, and it created a new track. I don't want that, though. But I just highlight it. Control X to cut, and then I can delete that. And now I'm going to paste it right here. I usually use 2 tracks when I'm mastering. Okay, and then I paste it in there, and I think that file is already trimmed good, and it looks like it's already been mastered pretty good. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit and just make sure that I get right on the edge here. And this is called a label track, this middle track that I put here. And you can create that by holding down Control, pressing B. And that's how you also create more labels. So I just did that right now. Now I'm going to type in the name. Okay, and let's hear what this transition sounds like. Okay, yeah, I like that transition. And let me see the chat here. Oh, K-Patch, because I wrote in the wrong language. Ah, haha. Okay. Oh, hey, my dad's here. Hey, Dad. What's going on? Found you a few years ago through a Jack tutorial, I believe. Oh, that's cool. What country are you in? Is that was that Greek that I saw there before? Okay, let me continue on here. Let's see where we're at. The problem with doing this live is I don't know how well I can focus here. I might make mistakes. I did that once before. I mastered an album live, and then I went back and I had already uploaded it to all the streaming services and everything. And I went back and was listening to it, and one of these labels I created, these are also like track markers. Somehow I got it not at the beginning, and so one of the tracks had the beginning of the when you listen back to it on Spotify. I've since deleted it, but it had the end cut off abruptly on one track, and then another track had the tail end of one song on the beginning, and then it started after that. It was a big mess. So try not to do that this time. Okay, I think I need my headphones to see if that fade out is good. Should be, though. It actually kind of abruptly cuts off, so let me fade that out a bit. Go in here to Effect, And then, can you guys see those effect? No, you can't see those effect drop-down menus. That's weird. I wonder why that is. Well, what I'm doing now, I'll just describe it. I'm going to the effect menu and then to fading, and then I select fade out. And that just fades out that little end there. But that's odd that the window capture doesn't capture that. It just captures like the window and nothing else. It doesn't capture any of the menus. So I'm not sure why that is. Sorry about that. And not much the usual, says my dad. How's the weather in West Virginia? It's really hot here. I was going to say it's cold. It's definitely not cold. Super hot. It's been really hot the past few days. Okay, what am I going to put next on here? What's my time? This is going to be a long album. Okay, so what else do I have in this folder that I want to use? Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a couple in here that you can't. I think that. I don't know if you even hear that. You probably don't. I didn't plan this very well. You'll hear it in a second, though, once I get it in there. I mean, you hear it through my mic, so it's just quieter. K-Patch says, yes, it was Greek. Your music is very good. I need to listen to it more. Thank you so much. And my dad says, same here. It's really hot today. Yeah, I haven't even been outside that much today yet, but I'm going to a little bit later. I have to go back over to my storage unit and then also to work and then to the old apartment. I feel better today, though. Yesterday, I was so tired from moving. So a little better today. All right, what am I putting in here next? Let's do one of these more recent ones. How about... I know which one. This song is called Live Bird or Bird. Let me put it in here. I mean, the title really doesn't make much sense, but it's kind of like, it was when I was in New Hampshire about a month ago. I started the track there, and their state motto is live free or die, and so that's where the live something or something came from. And then I had this fake plastic bird that I put in the video, and that's how I came up with the title. I know it doesn't really make sense, but live bird or bird, and this is what it sounds like. And this was a really weird song too, I thought, and that was kind of why I wanted to give it a really weird title. Okay, this one I feel like I could push a little more as far as the volume goes. So I'm going to go to Effect, and then Volume and Compression, and then Limiter, which you can't see, but I usually I try about 1.6 gain increase through my limiter with the hard limiter. And then let's apply that, and that looks like it took care of it. Let me make sure it's not distorting or anything. And then what I'll do is I'll jump back and forth between tracks and make sure my perceived volume sounds about the same. Yeah, and I think so. Okay, let me check that chat here. All right, I'm not going to talk for a little while because I want to get some of this done. So if you have a question, put it in there and then I'll answer. But let me get some of this done. abrupt cutoff on that, so let's fade that out. Okay, we're getting there. We're already up to almost 40 minutes. And there's still several more tracks to go here. This is going to be a long one. Rage 64, that deep synth sounds like Moog Sub Fatty. That was, if you're talking about the last thing that you just heard in Be In Your Surroundings, when it's up there, that was actually a, the heck was that thing called? A Korg DS1, I believe. Korg DS1 is like an FM synth. I don't have it anymore. I bought it and made a video about it, kept it for a little while, and then sold it because it was huge and weighed a ton. But I really liked it. It sounded really good. It was like basically like Korg's. I think it was a Korg. Yeah, it was a Korg. Korg's version of the DX7. Very similar FM style synthesizer. Okay, what else am I putting in here? Okay, after that, let's put in something a little more chill. So I'm going to put in this one. I know which one to do. Wait, I don't want to drop that into OBS. That won't work. Okay, this one I don't, no, this one I didn't post. It's only playing on my radio. That's the only place this one can be heard right now. And that one definitely needs to be a little mastered, I can tell from looking at it, or a little maximized, basically. First, let's label it. Ah, shoot, not that. And then this end is definitely way too long. I fade that out a little sooner. Sorry, answering a text. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Effect, Volume and Compression, Limiter, Hard Limit, 1.6 dB increase, and like you couldn't see that, but that's what I did. Okay, we're getting there. Let's check the chat here. When you're saying you're using Audacity for mastering, do you have a video? So much reverb. Let me answer that first. You mean a video about mastering for Audacity? In Audacity, I do. I have several. One of them is very old, and the quality of my microphone is absolutely terrible. And, I got a lot of criticism about that because they were like, oh, if your audio quality of your microphones are really bad, how can you master? But whatever. The information's there. I mean, I'm not like doing that much because honestly, in digital mastering, like if you're mastering for a digital release, if your levels are up, if your levels are good, you're not really doing anything, that's that complicated or that special. All I'm doing is checking to make sure that track between track sounds consistent. When you're mastering for vinyl, that is a completely different thing. And I think a lot of people think, or there's this perceived mystery around mastering to a lot of people because of that. Because the old days when you had to master for vinyl, it actually was a very complicated process. And I've done it, and I know because it is very complicated. And the reason why it's complicated is because vinyl, if you have too much bass, like if you're trying to push too much bass on a master for vinyl, it will literally make the record skip. And in addition to that, depending on where the song is on the record, if it's towards the center of the record, you actually have to roll off the bass even more because those center grooves can't handle as much bass as the outer frequencies can. So you have to keep all of this stuff in mind when you're mastering for vinyl. You have to do a lot of EQ, like low cuts, and especially in the sub frequency range, it's very difficult to have really low frequencies that come across well on vinyl. That's why, especially if you listen to old dance music and stuff on vinyl, the guys that were mastering those records were very good at what they were doing because they still managed to get that bass to come across, to where you perceive it and it sounds full, but they managed to roll back the frequencies that will cause the records basically to freak out and the needle to jump all over the place. But it's also why they used to have 12-inch dance mixes, like a 12-inch record with one song on it. And that's another reason why they used to do that, is because that one song, if you spread those grooves out wider, then you have a lot more frequencies that you can work with, a wider frequency range, because it's all physical. Okay, and Rage64 says, so much reverb and so airy. Yeah, that song is like that. That one was like more a real experimental thing. And more on that in a second. So my dad's heading out, heading out to run some errands. Talk to you soon. Okay, have a good day, Dad. The Strange One, the Old Sun, that song that you just said was airy and so much reverb. Usually when I record music, I don't record drums first. 99.99999% of the time, I record my drums last. I compose music first, and then I record drums around or afterwards, because I'd like to know what I'm playing. I like to know what I'm playing to and think about my parts and work them out in my head and, practice them and stuff like that. But for this song, the strange one, the Old Sun, I didn't do that. I actually just recorded me, jamming on drums as like kind of mellow thing with that satellite bell that I have, which is this really cool metal sculpture type thing. And let me play a little bit of it so you know what I'm talking about. Where's Audacity? Where'd it go? Here it is. And I just did that and then put some experimental like synth sounds over top of it, basically. Yeah, so that clanking thing you hear, that's the satellite bell by Pete Engelhorn created that. It's really cool, and it has these two pieces of steel with these bars on it and this spring that connects them. I also used it here in Live Bird or Live Bird or Bird. But on that one, I'm playing it with bundle sticks. K-Patch, thanks for all the info. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, vinyl mastering is pretty fascinating. It's a difficult thing to do. You have to know what you're doing. When I did it for the Minnesota vinyl release, I was really concerned with making it good, so I spent a lot of time on that master and read a bunch of stuff about it, and I think it came out really good. I was happy with the final result. If you're interested in that, you could purchase it at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. The first Minnesota is on vinyl, and I spent a lot of time on that master. But these digital mastering, like I said, it's basically just making sure your levels are the same. And you don't want any wild EQ changes between songs or anything like that too, because that'll sound weird. But all of these songs, I think they vibe pretty well together. Even though I recorded them over a long period of time, I think mostly they do fit pretty well together. Let's pick the next one. What am I at now? Man, there's still so many. Okay, let's do Fear of Microphones. This one is probably the most different sounding as far as the recording goes, but it's still pretty similar. I'm just not sure why. The drums just came out sounding a little more raw on this particular song than a lot of these. Zoom in here. Let's hear the transition. This song may have put a hold on this whole thing. I might go back and remix this one because I think I could do better on the drum sound on this one. There's some high end in there I'm not crazy about. It's not that I think there's too much high end, but there's a frequency. I mean, that could be, though. This might be my best. I'll have to go in and check it. I can't do that on this stream because that's going to use ASIO drivers, so that won't work. But I recorded that in the old studio where I rehearsed with Ronan, and that room was not the greatest sounding room to record in sometimes. It was very, a lot of reflections, not much sound treatment in that room. So it's just, some of them came out good in there, but sometimes it would be difficult to get it to sound good. I don't know. Should I just say screw it and just move forward? I'll let you guys hear some more of it. I mean, you can hear everything, the kick drums cut through and the toms and the snare and everything. Yeah, I think it's fine. Whatever. I'll just leave it. Let's look at the comments here. K-Patch, how do you record drums? A lot of different ways. But recently, I have videos on it too. There's a fairly recent video about drum recording I have. But I like to mic everything up that my preferred way is to have a mic on everything. Kick, snare, overheads, toms, and just this very last time, one thing I did that I never did before, ever, and now that I did it once, I'm like, why did I never do this, is mic my hi-hats, like put an individual mic on the hi-hat. And I did that on this song right here, this first song. And it's not that it's louder. I mean, I could make it louder if I wanted to, but just the tone of the hi-hat is so much better. And now I'm like, why have I never mic'd my hi-hats before? It just makes a big difference. I used to think it was kind of pointless because every time I would do overheads, my hi-hats were always plenty loud enough. So I was like, why mic them? And also you get hi-hat bleed on your snare drum mic. And, it's just I always thought like there would be no reason to mic them. I never thought about it like the actual tone of the hi-hats, like because I don't have that hi-hat mic very loud in that mix, but if I turn it off, which I can't do right here, but if I turn it off, when I was mixing, I was A-Bing, with it off, and it didn't make it quieter, it just made it sound not as good. Like it just sounded way better with it on there. It's just a fuller, thicker, like nice... And just the separation too, like I could pan it all the way to the left, and that blended with the overheads. And you could hear when I hit that crash there. I don't know if you noticed that, but when I hit the crash, it was like really strong in one ear, and the hi-hats were still over here. And I love that, like good separation. Yeah, so miking hi-hats, I try to mic, and occasionally too, like I'll put a room mic, like up there too. But a lot of times, I used to love room mics when I was younger, and I would go crazy with them. I'd make them really hot, in the mix. But the older I get, the less I like them. I'll just put them in if I do it. I don't always do it, but if I do it, it'll just be in there like a very touch. The older I get, the more I like the clarity when I record the drums. And I think this first song, I got a really nice sound. I switch to the ride section here. Where is it? I don't know. Where is it? There we go. So yeah, that was what I had there was kick drum, snare drum, both toms, mics, two overheads, and an XY pickup pattern like this, and hi-hat mic. That's it. No ambient mic, no room mic. And there's another song on this album too that I haven't put in here yet. I'll show you. I'll do that one next so you can hear. There's one that I did in here where I mic'd the ride cymbal. Oh wait, I did do that. That was in this one. Where is it? The strange one, the old sun. I mic'd the ride cymbal here. I find it. When do I play on it? There. And the reason why I mic'd the ride cymbal on that one is because that ride, it's kind of a quieter cymbal, and I didn't think it was cutting through as well as the other cymbals, especially compared to the hi-hats, which are quite bright on that particular setup I was using. And to mic it, I actually put a mic underneath the ride, like up from the bottom. And Rage 64, the song gives off a vibe of chaos. Yeah, that I know which one you're talking about. That's the Fear of Microphone song. Yeah, it totally does. It's very intense. Especially the guitar solo section. Let me get to that. Where is it? Okay, this is taking me forever to do this while I'm streaming because I talk so much. All right, let's pick another one here. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at, but I'm looking at my song list here in my folder and trying to pick which one I want to do next. Okay, let's slow it. I should probably slow it down a bit because that one's so insane. Let's bring in one a little more chill. I know which one. This is one that the song title changed. Not that you ever knew the original song title, but I did. Trim the beginning and end. This one I didn't do any mastering to at all yet. So, and that's another thing too. With digital mastering, like it involves trimming off the the dead space in the beginning of the song and the end, and doing like a fade out if you need to. Let me hear what this one sounds like. Yeah, that one I'll probably just fade out that cymbal at the very end there. So let's trim this off and fade that. Effect, volume, and fading, and then fade out. Oops. Okay, and this one I'm calling It Keeps Moving. Nope, wrong button. Okay, so let's hear the transition. I like to hear the end of one song and how it makes me feel when it goes into the next song. I like to do that. Whoops. I think I need to push this one a little bit hotter too. Now I might want to. I may want to do a little bit of EQ on this one. Let me listen to it a bit. Actually, I think it's fine. I'm just going to push it a little more. Let's go to Effect, and then Volume and Compression, Limiter, Hard Limit, 1.6 dB. It definitely lacks a little bit of the upper mid-range bite that the other tracks have. So actually, let's do this. I am gonna. No, it seems like they changed Audacity again here. Where's the real-time effects? Plug in. Oh, here, add real-time effect. There we go. See, the problem with that is if I do real-time effects, it affects the whole track. So I'm not going to do that. Let's do this a different way. Just going to use a graphic EQ here. You probably can't see that. Little bass roll off. I'm going to increase my 5 and 6K and 8K a little bit. Try this. Okay, yeah, that kind of gave it just a little more bite. Let's apply that. And I still need to limit it as well. Okay. See, the problem is this one, like I said before, this Fear of Microphone song, this one, it has more of a harsh high end to it than the rest of them do. So I think if I don't compare it to that one, then it's fine. So I'm just not going to compare it to that one. I'll just pretend like that doesn't exist. K-Patch, the first song sounds very clean. A few like the last one are pretty loud and maybe noisy. They have an old punk vibe maybe. Yeah, there's a couple like this song here. I mean, this was a more minimal microphone setup actually. This one was actually no, this one I did mic everything. This was 2 overheads and I was playing a pretty unusual drum kit on this one. But I was using bundle sticks, and but I did have everything mic'd on that one. Let's see. So far, are there one that's more minimal mics in here yet? This one. Okay, so this one right here. Actually, no. Even that one, I had everything mic'd up. Oh, this one. Okay, so Unisphere. That, believe it or not, is an iPad microphone on the drums. Blended with a Zoom video camera, like one of those Zoom, what's it called? HQN, something like that. Like the video camera with 2 condenser mics. So that was in front, and off to the side was the iPad. So that's all that was. That was like 3 mics. There's 2 on the Zoom and 1 on the iPad. And that actually, I think it came out sounding really nice. The iPad was close enough to the kick to get a nice kick sound. And anyway, taking forever here. I want to continue. Where are we at now? Let's see, we are at... Uh-oh, what happened to my audio? What'd I do? I mute something? What? I don't hear it. Oh, how did this get so low? That's weird. I may finish this offline because there's still several more to do here and I'm getting kind of tired too. I need to do some other stuff. Well, not tired, but tired of doing this. Still have a lot of moving stuff to take care of, and plus I have to work later. Let's do at least one more. Okay, this one I need to trim the beginning, I think. Yep. Should I leave that hi-hat step in there? Yeah, I want to leave it in there. I like it. Start right on it, though. Okay, and put my label there. Oh, mistyped. This is already almost an hour long. And I think there's like at least 4 or 5 more songs I want to put on here too. It's going to be long. All right, that's all I'm going to do for now though. I'm getting tired of it. I'll work on it a little bit more later. K-Patch H4N. It usually sounds amazing. I'm using it all the time. Let me find you, which I think it's a Q, because it's a camera. Let me find it here. I have the model. I'll tell you here in a second. Oh, it's a 2Q or Q2N 4K is what it is. And I also have a Q8 zoom, but I didn't use that one on this particular recording. But they have very similar sounding mics. I think all of those have like pretty much the same kind of condenser mics in them. They sound really good. But I love the cameras because you can use, you get video and audio at the same time. Anyway, that's going to be all for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I have some more stuff coming pretty soon. Once I finish this album, it'll be on all the streaming services as well as my record label, which is anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. And also, speaking of that, I haven't had a chance to really promote this yet, but Anthill Recordings, if you go there and you click on one of the albums, you can buy the entire discography now for like $30, which is a ton of music. Though you may want to wait until after I finish this if you want to get this one. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know how many albums I have on there. A lot. And it's 90% off if you buy the discography. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Check it out. And if you want to listen to my radio too, I have radio.demonicsweaters.com, which is a lo-fi streaming radio station. And also started up the podcast again, and I've got a lot of good guests lined up, like legit guests. It's going to be really good. Got them in the books already, which I'm really stoked about that. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Can I say the guests? I think there's a couple I could probably tell you about. Well, no, I don't know. They didn't say if I should say anything or not. So just wait. They're good. Trust me. They're going to be ones you're going to want to hear. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Did I say y'all? What is wrong with me? All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.